Welcome, everyone. This is another one of our heart-powered, inspiring interviews, and you're here with us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And as you know, yes, every week we introduce you to an amazing entrepreneur, change maker, and often enough, a dear friend of mine. And I cannot say enough about this amazing woman. I mean, I think we've traveled the world already pretty much together, right? In
Yeah,
so
we
many
have.
ways. You've inspired me in so many ways. I keep learning from you every single time. So, who is this amazing woman right on my side? Her name is Runa Magnus and Magnus Dottir, just to be perfectly correct. And, as I said, she is just, she's from Iceland and still she's the hottest woman and the funniest woman on earth and so smart. And she's really a lifetime entrepreneur. She's built more businesses than other people might be able to count. And she's really a leadership coach and mentor. She's also an amazing branding expert. She's awarded in so many ways. And while we were together in New York, where we were speaking, at a leadership conference at the United Nations building, which was really such a precious moment, I know that, she felt inspired to create, and she became the co-founder of the No More Boxes movement. And I think I'm not exaggerating, but I think we've reached more than 4 million people already with that movement, right? In so many different ways. And the No More Boxes movement has become the antidote to the vision between black and white thinking. And I think it's not only the black and white thinking, it's the women and men and whatever we think always divides us, to really understand that there's no division, that we honor and celebrate what we have in common. And Runa is also the co-creator of the Money Box game, and I've personally played it already, and it's so inspiring and fun. What is this Money Box game? It's the virtual reality game that helps people to expand, challenge, and change their relationship to money and wealth. Okay, Rona, it's amazing to have you with us. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to have this fun with time with you, Monique, as we always do.
And I know that you're always so inspiring. So why don't you inspire us today? Just sharing with us, what are you doing right now to again bring
Whoa.
your business and your impact to the next level?
You know, what I'm doing today is really, it has been about understanding my own limitation. Actually, just to be really, really honest here. You know, I've been an entrepreneur most of my adult life, and it's so interesting how we're constantly growing, and we might come to a certain point in our life when we think, oh, I got it, and then life shows us something, and we go, oh, I don't get it. I actually have to do no, I wouldn't say reinvigorate myself, but I need to grow, constantly grow, and just be aware of that. So what just recently, actually, when shortly after we founded the No More Boxes movement that you talked about, I one of the things that I found I was struggling with was how do I really grow my business? How do I manage to, I mean, not just survive things, but really thrive? And I'm not only talking about the money bit, I'm really talking about the holistic thing here.
Mm.
But money was definitely one of it. And as one of the things that we do with the Normal Boxes movement, that we've been working with leading neuroscientists in the field to really help us understand our limiting beliefs, the boxes that we put ourselves in with our stories, with our how we're brought up, with gender, religion, all of those things that we're not aware of because this is our life, this is how we see life. So I started to look really, really deep into this thing about money and myself. And I I almost blush when I say that because I was thinking, why am I not moving ahead? Why am I not just living in that abundant world that I would tell people you can do that, but I wasn't doing it. But I would tell other people, oh, you can do it. And I found out that deep inside of my core soul, somewhere down the line, I believe that rich people, hang in here, rich people are boring. It was a statement that I had when I started to look at what are the things that pop up in my mind when I think of rich people? And what came up was rich people are boring. Why would I ever try to go into that box with other people that I believe are boring? I mean, it just, when I say it like this, doesn't make any sense at all. Would I ever do it? But it wasn't until I got that up on the surface that I, first of all, I could laugh at it and I said, what? No. Well, some rich people are boring, but not all. And I could kind of like go into that. Okay, so I'm rich. And what am I gonna believe now? What are the things that I want to then put into my space that has to do with my wealth, that has to do with money, that has to do with my relationship? Yeah. And one thing after another led to that whole game that we're playing now, the money box game. This is really, yeah, and so interesting with business. I know it has happened to you too, how something that you were struggling with becomes, you get an answer, you get something in there, and you would develop it into something. And that's what we did.
I love that. And you know what, Runa, I always love to invite everyone that is with us right now to really ask yourself, what do you think about money? What do you think about rich people, right? And I love your honesty and vulnerability, Runa, with saying, hey, I believe rich people are boring.
Yeah.
Well, why would we, even being entrepreneurs, right, wanting actually to create great income and great profit, why would we ever become rich if we believe that that makes us boring, right?
Yeah.
I wonder, you know, what do you think about money? What do you think about being rich? Are you putting your foot onto the brake or onto the accelerator of earning more money in your business, right? And, you know, Runa, I know that, you know, why don't you tell us a little bit about how is playing this game, you know, how has it made a difference for you, and how has it made a difference for the people that have been playing?
Oh, it has made huge difference for me. I've already played it twice, and playing it twice, and the second time around was different than the first time. Well, there are a couple of things that came up. Number one, you start to really realize your pattern and your relationship to money. So how do you work with money? How do you prioritize things? What are the things? How do you treat money? One of the things that I heard from participants who said, like, many of them said, wow, I'm just realizing I didn't start to do anything for myself till way into the game. I was always doing something for others. That is a pattern. And just understanding that pattern gives you opportunity to say, oh, what do I want to change now? Okay, this is how I am doing it. And I'm just realizing, I'm not judging. I'm not saying that you're a bad girl or anything. This is how I'm doing it. So being able to just bring it up to the surface and say, what am I going to do with this thing? And say, okay, I want to, some of it, but I want to keep, but there are other things there that I want to treat myself more often. I want to do things with money that is actually like growing myself, like giving myself. One of the things that I have always had a little bit of a trouble with is to treat myself with things like going to a massage or going to a beauty salon or something. That has, you know, that I've always felt that was like a real treat, and you only do that when, you know, every 10 years or whatever, you know. Why? But that, you know, the things, little things like that you go, no. And another thing that you start to notice that I thought was so interesting, and that was all the conversations people started to talk about. They said, now we're talking about different things at a dinner table. You know, many of them, and I know, like you and Holger, you did that, didn't you? Because you both were playing. And then when you start to see, oh, my partner, he or she really values this. I didn't know. One person said to us that her daughter was playing along, and she said, and it was just a teenage daughter, and she was like, oh, I really don't know if she's gonna be able to play, but she wanted to, and okay, I said okay. And then she said, I'm just watching her sharing things in that group. And I'm just saying that my teenage girl is has so much maturity in her thought process of what the impact that she wants to make, and she already is thinking about things that she wants to be the change for in the world. And that gave that mom just such a pleasure, such a this beautiful feeling of, like, like moms, I'm gonna put all moms into that box, but I know myself, when you see your children are doing something that is for greater good, and you go, maybe I had a little bit to do with that, and it gives you a fuzzy feeling. So there are so many aspects to this game that we're now seeing. It really does transform our belief system.
So much. And you know what, Rona? I mean, I have been part of it, and I remember I played it a few years ago.
Yeah.
But back then I played it on my own. And you know what? I gave up pretty fast. But
I
now
know.
I played it with you and Nick and the whole tribe, and it made all the difference. And I had invited my husband, right?
Yeah.
And I have to say that really shifted my perspective in so many ways. You know, it really got me an entirely different understanding of what abundance means in this world.
Isn't it? Yeah.
An entirely different understanding of what power I hold in my two hands, of what impact I can really make. And it might have been a game, but it was real for me. I made things real. And it shifted how I saw, it shifted my relationship with money, of course. It also shifted my relationship with myself. It shifted my perspective related to my business and my own power. It uplifted my relationship with my husband in some way as well. I mean, there's an unlimited number. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know everyone here is now probably curious to know more about the game, right? And how it's played. And, let me just start stretching you right here, right now. Okay. And we're not going to tell all the rules of the game right here, right now, but it's a really simple game and still it's so powerful. But what if every day you double the amount of money you have and you had to spend it every day? What if you had millions of euros or dollars, whatever your currency is, at your hand, and you could do whatever you wanted with it in that day? What if you had billions? Now, I might be blowing your mind, and you ruin my mind as well, right? But start thinking about the things. Would you like to explore? What would it mean to you personally, to your business, to your impact, to the legacy you want to create? I think it's such a powerful thing. So Runa, I think creating this game and playing it with people from all over the world has shifted something inside of yourself, for your business, for your clients, right? You bring that into what you do in your business, how you help people to really step up and define their brand. Because again, how we are investing and spending money, it's such a strong, important element of who we are and what our business is about, and what our brand really is, right? So I also like to talk to you about another point, and that our business is called HeartPowered Business. And as I started a movement called Voice for Love, because in HeartPowered, in business, how we communicate makes all the difference to ourselves, to our team, to our clients, and so on. What does it mean to you, speaking of Voice for Love?
Speaking Voice for Love for me is when I allow myself to let go of the boxes that I am putting myself into. Because I think yes, we do this all the time. We put ourselves and we put other into boxes, and we do that biologically to make sense of the world. And we need it because it's a fight and flight and all of those things. The big problem is, even though we need it, we don't need it all the time. And it's not serving us when we're trying to be someone that we think that we are supposed to be, because we're conditioned by our gender, race, religion, background, etc., etc. and we're all there. So voice for love is when I realize that I am putting myself into a box that isn't serving me, isn't helping me to make the impact that I want to make in the world.
Mm.
So I like to use this to have this inner, deeper conversation with myself and with the child inside of me, to remind little Runa that she can, that she is of value, that she can have her freedom and she can help other people to have their freedom, which is my number one thing, to help people to feel that they are valued because I feel I am valued, so that I can mirror that forward. Because I think once I have that here, I have taught my body to be that person. And when I've taught my body, and my body is becoming just as used to that as it is to be what it is today, then I am reflecting that in everything that I am doing. And that's how I see that I can reflect that into the world.
Oh, I love that. And it's so important because how we speak to ourselves, okay, and connected to, like, I know it's No More Boxes movement, right? That you are actually an ambassador for, right? And you're the co-creator of that. And again, how we speak to ourselves will in the end impact how we speak to others.
Mm-hmm.
So voice for love means that if we speak to ourselves in an appreciative way, where we are not limiting ourselves, not putting ourselves into boxes, but allow ourselves to grow beyond it, right? That will have a big impact on how we speak to others too, right? I love that. And you know what? One thing is about, playing a game at some point, or, speaking to someone or ourselves in a certain moment. But what really makes a difference is what we do on a consistent basis, or who we are on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
So what is one habit that you attribute your greatest success and your greatest impact to? What are you doing on a regular basis that brings everything you do to a different level?
For me, it's meditating.
Mm.
So I've been meditating for decades, but I have been growing my meditation, and I've been developing that. And today I use a mixture of things, but I am really in fond of what Dr. Joe Dispenza is doing to help us connect with the field, to balance our energy centers, and that all of that has really helped me to be more present. Because what the old me, and I know is still in the background there, is the one who does things very, very fast. And I can do things very, very fast. I'm quick to learn, I'm quick to do that. But what the meditation has taught me is to be more aware of my reactions, my thinking, my listening, and my judgment are based on something that was. And to have that awareness that it's my choice if I want to bring it into that what was into the present moment, or even fill up my future. And that's the thing that I find so interesting and such a rewarding journey. Just that awareness. Do I want to put that once happened into the future, so that I have filled my future into something that I'm not even, it's not giving me anything. It's not nurturing me. So meditation has definitely been the number one habit that I love and I adore.
Oh, it's so powerful. And I know how it feels. I mean, meditation is such an important part of my life too. I think it keeps me sane and it keeps me present. And I think what you're saying is so important. We are not aware of all the things that we experienced in the past, especially things that are not serving us, how we keep holding on to them, and how we actually, turn them, make them part of our future, even though if we would consciously think about it, we never would, right?
Yeah.
As we say, everything happens in the present moment, right? Everything that matters happens in the present moment, like, love, laughter, right? Happiness, joy, right? It's not something we can put into a box or a fridge to keep it. It happens in the here and now, right? So
Yeah.
I love it. And even in the present moment, we pave the path for our future.
Yeah,
So,
and we can, and things can, I want to point that as well. Present moment can also be painful. Present moment can be, I've experienced that in a great deal this year. So present moment, but there is, when that happens, and that has to do with meditation and present moment as well, is when it's something that you really find this challenging, is then to ask yourself that one question, and that is, what's the gift? Because you can then change that around by just asking yourself, what is the gift in this moment?
I love that. And Runa, we always ask every one of our guests, what is one thing people can do right away to turn the inspiration from our interview today into action? Because action is going to get us to shift things and gives us results, right? So what is this one thing you would invite people to do today to bring their life, their business, their impact to the next level?
Well, it's when my answer to that would be, be aware that you're putting yourself into a box that is not serving you. And when that comes up, when you hear yourself you can do that with just hearing yourself with a sentence, with a phrase saying, well, I am not a person that blah, or this has never been done, blah. You were putting yourself into a box. Just as an example. First of all, ask yourself, is that box true? And because boxes can really, really feel like they are their truth when we believe they're the truth, but actually they're all made up. Okay? So if your answer is still yes, then ask yourself, how is that serving me being in that box? Personally, professionally? How is it serving my business? How is it serving my family? How is it serving my world? And if you see that it's not serving you, then you can start to do something about it.
Yeah, we choose, right? We have the power of choice every moment of our life. So I love it. Okay, so all of you, okay, that are here with us today, and thank you for being our loyal, followers, and you're here with us. Thank you for allowing us to inspire and empower and support you. I invite you again just today, okay, start observing yourself more, okay, like what Runa suggested. Okay, if you feel that there's something that limits you, that you're maybe not doing what you think you should be doing, or you feel like I'd like to feel in a certain way, you're not feeling this way, it's probably because you keep yourself trapped in a box. And then ask yourself, what is it? Is it true? And how is it serving me? And if it's not, let it go. Okay. And again, you're part of our HeartPowered Global Nation, of our community. Share with us in the comments, what's coming up for you. Okay. I'd love to hear from you. Great, Runa. I know that everyone is probably very excited to learn more about the Money Box game and to connect with you and get to know you and find out what do you do as a branding expert, as a leadership, coach, consultant, trainer. How can people connect with you, and how can they actually find out more about the game?
Oh yeah, to go for the game, go to themoneyboxgame.com. Simple as that. Sign up, and there are a couple of ways to sign up. I know we will find a way that it's going to serve you. Second thing, if you want to contact me, go to runamagnus.com and see what I have to offer. I'm always doing something. I'm always up to something.
Great. Love it. Runa, thank you so much for being on with us. Okay, thank you all for being on with us. And as you know, every week we inspire you, and we have another guest with us that, next week. However, we're living in the here and now. We want to be present, right? That's something we talked about, right? Again, play with us today, pick up the challenge that we shared with you. And, again, check out if this Money Box game is for you. I tell you, it's going to be fun, and we can shift something, in great ways if you play along with us. Okay. Have a fabulous day, everyone. Thank you, Runa, for being on. Okay, and I love, by the way, the place where you are, right? And you know, I mean, from the top of the mountains to into this beautiful, beautiful backyard. All my greetings to you, and I look forward to keep seeing how you help more people to step out of the box and to really lift them to a different level with them, for themselves, for their business, for the impact they're making. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all for being on with us. Have a fabulous day and week, and we'll see you in our HeartPowered Global Nation. All the best until then. Cheers.